You should never, ever answer a knock at your door after midnight. But I did, and now I'm stuck with him.
Hey, you got any salt?
That's what he asked me. At 2:37 a.m., a stranger standing on my porch, drenched in rain, staring at me like I owed him something.
Salt, table salt. You got any?
His voice was wrong. Not deep, not high, just off. Like it didn't belong in his throat.
Hurry, they don't like waiting.
That's when I saw it. Behind him, in the street, a shadow. Too tall, too still, watching.
Urgent. Salt. Now.
I slammed the door, locked it. But when I looked through the peephole, he was still there, smiling.
Muffled through the door.
The lights flickered. The air got thick. And then...
Who were you talking to?
My blood froze. Because I live alone.
Oza, you shouldn't have opened the door.
I turned. She stood in my hallway. Same rain-soaked clothes. Same wrong smile.
Now, we both need salt.
The knocking started again. Louder. From every door. And this time...
Forum outside, distorted. Let us in.
The handle rattled. The walls groaned. And the woman in my house tilted her head too far to the side.
Too late. They're here.
The lights went out. The knocking turned to pounding. And in the dark, I realized they weren't trying to get in.
They smell your fear.
My hands fumbled for the light switch. When the bulbs flickered back on, she was gone. But the pounding hadn't stopped.
Whole room outside, voice cracking, open the door before it sees you.
My heart hammered. I pressed my eye to the peephole again. The street was empty. No shadow. No rain. Just silence.
Right against the door. Breathless, they lied to you.
His voice was so close I jumped back. The doorknob twisted on its own.
You think this is your house?
The air turned icy. My breath fogged in front of me. And that's when I noticed the photos on the wall. My face was in every one. But I didn't remember taking them.
Oven, upstairs. Come see what you did.
My legs moved on their own. One step, then another. The stairs creaked under my weight.
Pouring outside, desperate now. Don't go up there.
At the top of the stairs, a door stood open. A door I knew wasn't there before. Inside, a single chair. A mirror. And in the reflection...
Sit down.
I spun around. She wasn't there. But the mirror showed her standing right behind me.
You let them in. Now you have to pay.
The pounding downstairs stopped. The house held its breath. And then...
From the basement, laughing, laugh. The salt's all gone.
The lights died again. And in the dark, something scratched against the floor.
You should have listened.
The floorboards groaned behind me. I turned just as the basement door burst open. A hand, bone white's fingers too long, shot out and grabbed my ankle.
From the darkness. Giddy.
I kicked free, stumbling into the hallway. The photos on the walls were different now. My face was gone. Just empty frames.
The room outside, faint run.
I didn't think. I ran. Down the stairs. Past the front door, now hanging off its hinges. Into the street. I never went back. But sometimes, when I'm alone at night, I hear knocking. And I swear, the air smells like salt. You should never, ever answer a knock at your door at 3 a.m. But I did. And now, the thing outside won't stop smiling at me.
Dude, you're being paranoid. It was probably just some drunk guy.
That's what I told myself too, until I looked through the peephole again. The man, if you could even call it that, was still there, standing perfectly still, his grin stretched ear to ear, too wide for a human face.
Maybe you should call the cops.
I did. They came, they saw nothing. But the second they left, the knocking started again. Knock, 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 slow, deliberate.
Just ignore it, man.
I tried, but then the knocking changed. It wasn't coming from the door anymore. It was coming from inside the walls.
That's impossible.
I wish it was. The scratching started next, like something was dragging its fingers through the drywall. And then I heard it whisper my name. Not my real name. The nickname only my grandma used. The one nobody else knew.
Okay, that's messed up. You gotta get out of there.
I grabbed my keys and bolted for the car, but when I turned the ignition, the radio blasted static, and then a voice, his voice, giggling.
What did it say?
You forgot to check the back seat?
Oh, hell no.
I didn't look. I just ran. But the streets were empty. Too empty. And every street light I passed flickered off as I got closer. That's when I realized the knocking was back. But this time, it was coming from my own chest.
That can't be real.
I looked down. My heartbeat was wrong. Too slow. Too loud. And with every thump, the thing outside whispered again.
What did it say this time?
Let me in.
You okay, hun? You look like you've seen a ghost.
If only it were that simple. I opened my mouth to answer when the jukebox in the corner crackled to life. No coin, no one near it, and the song. It was our song. The one my ex and I used to listen to, the one nobody else knew about.
You're freaking me out.
The waitress frowned, walking toward the jukebox. Then she froze. Her face went pale.
That's impossible. This thing's been unplugged for years.
The music stopped. The diner lights flickered. And in the window behind me, I saw him, the grinning man, standing in the parking lot. His head tilted too far to the left. His fingers tapped against the glass in perfect rhythm with my heartbeat.
You need to get out of there, now.
I bolted for the back exit, nearly knocking over a busboy. The alley was dark, wet from earlier rain. My shoes splashed through puddles as I ran, until I realized the puddles weren't reflecting anything. No streetlights, no moon, just black.
That's not how reflections work.
I turned back toward the diner. The lights were off. The sign was dark, like it had been closed for decades. And then I heard it. A wet, gurgling laugh. Right behind me.
Don't turn around. Just run.
I did. But the alley stretched longer than it should have. The walls started breathing. And up ahead, under a single flickering bulb, stood the grinning man. His mouth unhinged. His teeth? They weren't teeth. They were fingers.
Oh my God.
He took a step forward. The street light burst, and in the darkness, something whispered from inside my own throat.
What did it say?
You should let me in.
Did it stop?
I almost let myself believe it, until I saw the note on the fridge, written in handwriting I didn't recognize. Just 2 words.
What did it say?
I'm inside.
No, what did you say?
Let's play again tomorrow.